Guru Gobind Singh College of Commerce Vibrant Enabling Unit Jaagriti is pleased to return Safar, a series highlighting the inspirational stories of people with disabilities and those who support them. Jaagriti promotes awareness and understanding through Safar by putting forward the lives of those who face obstacles and move on with courage. We are pleased to present Dr. Abha Khetarpal, a trainer, educator, and two-time President's Award-winning disability rights advocate who has devoted her life to promoting accessibility and diversity. She is the leader of Cross the Hurdles, an organization that works to empower people with disabilities. Cross the Hurdles is a movement to break down the social stigmas and mental barriers associated with disability. Dr. Khetarpal's life experiences as a woman with a locomotor disability motivate her to write books and offer counseling on subjects like career education, self advocacy, and sexual health. She works to break myths, advocate for rights, and build an equal society. So, we welcome you, ma'am, and let's start with the podcast.
Thank you so much, Manpreet, and thank you, Jaagriti, the enabling unit of Guru Gobind Singh College. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. So, our first question is,
Yeah.
ma'am, it is commendable that you have been actively working in the field of disability
Mhm.
rights. Would you shed some more light on your story and what pushed you to start Cross the Hurdles?
Yeah. My story is that I was infected with polio virus when I was 3 years. And the infection was very severe, and I was left with more than 80% disability, locomotor disability, and my spine had scoliosis, which had to be corrected with the 7-inch rod. I still have that 7-inch rod in my spine, and things were very difficult. I used to walk with leg braces when I was young, and so because of the inaccessibility, I could not go to school. Regular schooling was not possible because even that time schools were not at all accessible. There was no inclusive education system, and things were really difficult. And belonging to a middle class family, we could not afford a car and a driver. And my parents being teachers, they taught me at home. I got homeschooling till ninth standard. So from ninth to 12th, I got regular schooling from Cambridge Foundation School, Rajori Garden. And after that, I wanted to have higher education, being very ambitious in nature. I kept on studying, and I did my studies through distance mode. And I got three master's degrees through distance mode from different universities: Delhi University, Punjab University, Annamalai University. So I did three masters, one in economics, English, and psychotherapy counseling. And I wanted to be financially independent. So my parents being teachers, they had their tutorial center. So I started teaching while doing my graduation, and I became financially independent. And there was a time when I was the main earning member of my family because my father was a heart patient and he could not work much. So after teaching for many years, I wanted to do something more. Means I was not satisfied with what I was doing. Like it was like a kind of uh, I thought, I felt that I was like stagnant at some point of time. So took up this master's in psychotherapy counseling and became a professional counselor. And then I started this Cross the Hurdles initiative with the first time online counseling for persons with disabilities in India. It was first of its kind, and I started giving counseling to persons with disabilities and did not charge from them. It was my free services, and till this date, my services are absolutely free. So this is how Cross the Hurdles came up. Then I got it registered as a non-profit organization, and since then I'm working. Like my roles have been changing. uh, Things have changed a lot with age, with experience. I prepared different kinds of curricula on sexuality education, on self advocacy, on
Yes, ma'am.
career education, and many things.
Really beautiful answer, ma'am. Your work is really commendable.
Thank you.
So, ma'am, next question is, what was that particular event in your life when you realized that this is what you want to do, and now there is no turning back from advocating for the rights of people living with disabilities?
Yeah, uh, this is what I really wanted to do. Was there were many things. If you ask me about advocacy, my advocacy for disability rights started when I went to give my final year exams. MA final, when I was doing masters in economics. I had a center in a school, in a government school in Karol Bagh, but they refused to give me classes on ground floor. They asked my father to carry me to first floor and where I would write my exams. But I refused. I refused that it was my right to get a ground floor class, and if they were unable to provide me that ground floor class, I won't appear for my exam, or I would complain it to the university, Punjab University, Chandigarh. So from that day, my advocacy started. It was kind of a turning point in my life. Like I felt discriminated, a hell lot of discriminated. Like why couldn't I give my exam? And they even charged me for a single room and invigilator when I was giving exam on ground floor. Then there were many again instances like sometimes I was not given a table to write because I used to sit on my wheelchair. They refused to give me table. They told me to write the whole paper keeping the answer sheet on my lap, so it was impossible to write that way. So there were many instances. So I thought that I would enter into this area, do advocacy, counsel all students and other people with disabilities who had emotional issues, who had mental health issues, that they cannot talk to anyone, they cannot talk their heart to anyone. They don't have friends because obviously we remain invisible in the society. There is social isolation for all of us. So there is sometimes a feeling that we need someone to whom we can talk to, who would listen to us unconditionally, who
Hmm.
would not judge us. So all such issues, such instances led me to this work, and here I am today.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, moving on to the next question. What strategies do you put in place to make sure Cross the Hurdles is still in touch with the issues faced by people with disabilities on the ground?
Yeah, strategies. The everyday issues of the persons with disabilities, uh, which I face, which I see people facing, my community members facing, like healthcare. Suppose healthcare issues are there. So in healthcare, even healthcare accessibility is very less in our country. Even the super specialty hospitals, the healthcare accessibility is less. Even the examination tables where we are examined, they are high in, like the height is so much, we cannot get over the tables easily. We
Hmm.
cannot get our ultrasounds done. There is no weighing machine for a wheelchair user. So such issues, the everyday issues that concern us, that concern even the elderly people. It's not only for persons with disabilities, it's for elderly people even. They have issues like if it's my personal experience that the streets of my locality were all rugged and broken up, so I had to put a lot of fight to get it repaired and made it. Like last year they constructed a new road for me in my area because I could not go out in my wheelchair. So such things, everyday issues, they move me a lot. And these are there is no specific strategy in a way, but the everyday issues which we face, they push me to work hard and to find solutions or to ask for help from the government agencies, from the society. Because attitudinal barriers that we face every day are a matter. where people have to be made aware of disability issues. People in our country still are not aware what kind of language to use. Whenever we go out, they start staring at us like we are from some other planet. And these everyday issues, they bother me a lot.
These things are very normalized.
Yeah, there.
Hmm.
And what happens is that students with disabilities or young people with disabilities, they internalize this. They internalize this concept that they start thinking that we are not efficient.
Hmm.
Women with disabilities, they have the feeling that we are not beautiful because body image issues are there. uh, there is no, like, they don't go out for dating, which is like it's also their right.
Hmm.
They can't go out to date, and they can't find a partner. There is no marriage. So
Hmm.
certain things, they, like, these are the everyday issues, like our familiar relationships, the oppression that we face, the violence that we face. There are many, many things.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, our next question is, can you recall and share with us a story of an individual who was greatly impacted by the work that Cross the Hurdles does?
Yeah. There are many, many instances. Like, there was a student in Haryana. He was appearing for its 12th standard a few years back, and he was asking for extra time because he had osteogenesis imperfecta, that is a rare genital disease, a broken bone syndrome. It is called broken bone syndrome, and it caused locomotor disability in him, and he could not get extra time to write exams, which is our right, which the education boards, they provide half an hour extra time or 45 minutes extra time, whatever the case may be. So he reached out to me that nobody is listening to him, that he needs extra time for his exams. So I motivated him. I told him to self advocate, because no one is going to fight us forever. We have to fight for ourselves. Unless we are self advocates, no one is going to come and fight for us, for our rights. So I directed him, I guided him how to complain to it to the State Commissioner of Persons with Disabilities in Haryana. So he kept on writing to that person, and which whose office was in Chandigarh, and ultimately he succeeded in getting extra time for his exams. So he was like, he fought for himself, but what did I do? I did nothing. I just guided him. So this is the kind of self advocacy I want people to learn. So I
Hmm.
push them to certain, and now he is doing his PhD from JNU.
You
So
push people.
yeah, I teach them how to do things.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
To help themselves.
yeah. Because
Yes.
nobody is going to fight for us. Our parents are not going to be there.
Yes,
Our
ma'am.
teachers, school teachers are not going to be there. Even the lecturers are not going to be there. We have to fight for our rights.
Hmm.
Nobody else would do.
Yes, ma'am. True. So, next question is, ma'am, you have authored books and developed curricula on sexual and reproductive health and rights, self
Mhm.
advocacy, and career education for persons with disabilities. How do you think these resources have contributed to empowering individuals and changing societal perceptions?
I was first few persons who started this, like fighting for sexual and reproductive rights for persons with disabilities in our countries. I was the one of the few persons who started this, because as a woman with disabilities, I felt like we are neglected, we are ignored. Even our reproductive health, not even the relationships we are talking about, the health part, the sexual health part gets ignored. The menstrual health and hygiene gets ignored, because proper management is not taught to the girls, especially the girls, because nobody wants to teach them. Even the family members, they remain silent on such issues. They feel awkward while talking about
Hmm.
sexual and reproductive health. There is even the boys, the the men, they also feel They have certain queries, they have questions, but there is no one to answer them. No one, there is no one to satisfy their curiosity, but they have the right. And what I saw was there was no SRHR, means sexual and reproductive health and rights education in India for persons with disabilities. Nowhere it was taught. So I sat down to structure a course, an online course, which was a self-paced course where people could go and learn about all those things, get their answers, that get their curiosity satisfied. So then I completed this whole course. I It took me around 6 months to make all the lessons and different modules and upload it to the website. And after that, I also helped this blind school, NAB, National Association of Blind in Delhi, who were doing a project with the UNICEF on this very same topic. So I also helped them to structure that course. So it helped the students a lot. It helped even the married uh, persons with disabilities, especially women who did not know about contraception, who did not know about how to maintain their sexual health. So they were very much it helped them a lot, and many people then started talking about it. And for self advocacy, I got support from Women's Fund Asia to prepare this toolkit for self advocacy of women with disabilities. How to ask from when you are in school, how to ask for your rights when you are in college, when you are at workplace. So, and even disability etiquette and awareness, I also made that course available online. Like, how should journalists write about disabilities? Sorry, because many times people do not know what kind of language to use. Like, they call us Viklang or Divyang or special people or differently able people, which is not a correct term. It is not a correct terminology. It causes exclusion. So all these curricula, many times I gave online training to journalists even how to report about disabilities. So it helped them a lot. So I think many things were game changers.
And we really appreciate your hard work.
Thank you.
So, next question is, your book Going with the Flow addresses menstrual management and hygiene for women with disabilities.
Mhm.
What inspired you to write this handbook and how has it been received by the community?
It was very much welcomed in the community because no other resource was there that time. It was, I think, it's been around 10 years or 11 years I wrote that book. And because I converted it into Hindi, I mean, translated it into Hindi, and it helped many people. Many NGOs took it and used it for training purposes, uh, like how to manage menstrual issues. Even the parents, the caregivers, I had a specific chapter for families, for caregivers of girls with disabilities, like how can they help their children, their girls, how to talk to them about menstrual hygiene and management, how to teach them. Because many times what happens is that those who have intellectual disabilities, the girls who have intellectual disabilities, they are unable to manage their periods themselves. So they have to be taught, and parents do not know how to do it. uh, Sometimes the doctors are not even capable enough to teach them. So it was taken by many people. Even one of the non-profit organizations in Bangladesh, they reached out to me and they asked me if they could translate it into their language so that they can circulate there. So it was appreciated everywhere. And if you ask me why did I write that book, because when I was young, I had many questions, I was a lot whole curious about how to manage my own periods. Sometimes my mother used to help me, which I used to feel very awkward. Like I found my independence to be lost At that time, I could not go to school, as schools did not have uh, accessible toilets that time. So I used to remain at home those 5 days, and my studies missed. And so, with my own personal experience, I thought there are so many people who need guidance. There was I what I did was I did a literature review of the best practices going on in different countries. How do people in different countries teach girls with disabilities to manage their periods? So I did a lot of reading, lot of journals, books, and then I sat down to write this book in Indian context.
Really nice, ma'am. So, our next question is, have you received any specific kind of feedback or stories from audiences that captured your attention?
Feedback regarding the work which I do?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I keep on getting. People appreciate my work, and but sometimes when I talk about sexual and reproductive health, the people who are very conservative and who have traditional kind of thoughts, they don't like my talking about such things in open. And men with disabilities, I got many like reviews from them, like, why do I talk only about sexual and reproductive health of girls and women? Why don't I talk much about their issues? They also need sexual and reproductive health and rights, the guidance in that area. So such kind of reviews, it's like a mixed one. But yes, people who understand, who have the real need of such thing, they appreciate, they again reach out to me, satisfy more of their curiosities, ask me questions. I get many mails and messages regarding, because sometimes the girls are too shy to ask openly. They can't even come on like Zoom or online meeting. They just mail to me their questions, which I reply to them promptly. And I know how it feels when you are left out, when you feel excluded. It's my personal experience. So they find me, they find they think that I am there for them. Whenever they would ask, I would reply them, I would clear their doubts. Like sometimes I once I got a question from a girl who had cerebral palsy, and she asked me, ma'am, if can I get married? And this was such a heartbreaking question for me. Like, why a girl has to ask me this question, and can I have children? So, such questions are really heartbreaking. Like, people, when they feel completely excluded from the relationships, from the society, it's so isolating for them. So, I make a point that I promptly reply to them, to their mails and all.
Someone who is not suffering will consider it as a taboo only.
Yeah, true.
Mm, yes. So, ma'am, our next question is, what are the excerpts you would like to share from your documentary Excess in the context of disability and sexuality?
Have you seen that movie? No, it is in it is in YouTube, Doordarshan channel. You can search it, and it
I'll
is,
definitely watch it.
yeah, it's a must watch. And excerpts are like that. We are four protagonists in that documentary, and it got a special mention award in the National Award for films in India. And we four women were with different disabilities, and everyone had their own story to tell in that. So I cannot pick that a specific excerpt from them. But yes, a girl who had hearing impairment, she was quite bold enough to share her story, and how she is breaking the taboo and shattering the myths that are required. Um, I was one with locomotor disability, and I talked openly as a counselor, or how I help people, what were my personal experiences regarding that. So the whole movie is very engrossing, and it was like shown in many like film festivals all over the world. It was a great documentary. It's a much must watch. You must watch it.
Yes, ma'am, I'll watch it. So, ma'am, our next question is, how did you get the idea of starting your YouTube channel named Abha Speaks? How easily do you get the themes and narratives you wish to convey?
Abha Speaks came up as an idea that there must be someone who should talk about, because nowadays people don't like to read. Audio visual connection is more, and people like movement on the screens. The reading, the thing which was like reading was look people's passion at one point of time. Now it's like changed into watching on the things on the screens. And when a thing comes from a, the lived experience of the person himself or herself, people get connected to that very easily. If I speak about my personal experiences or about the disability issues, I not only talk about the disability issues specifically there, I even talk about the mental health issues or the career prospects. Uh, since June 2024, I started a podcast of my own by the name of Abha's Podcast. So I keep inviting people there with different disabilities and different achievements and different from different fields. Like if a young person with disability wants to go into a particular career path, wants to take a particular career path, the expert from the industry can come and tell them, yes, you can also do it. So one of the podcast was from the screenwriter from Sony television, and he very told that persons with disabilities who are interested in writing can become screenwriters. That can be chosen as a career path. If you have a good language, good imagination, you you can connect with people easily, you can become a screenwriter. And for that, no specific like a degree or diploma is needed. It's an internal instinct. But yes, you can also take up that. So such things, such experts come on my podcast, and they show way to the other people with their own experiences. And so this is how I get the themes. And themes are mostly what I personally have gone through, themes I take from my own life.
That's a really nice idea.
And I don't have to go out. i can
Hmm.
I can be in my room and shoot my podcast or my video.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Next is, during the pandemic, you highlighted the additional struggles faced by people with disabilities, such as finding home nurses. What were the key takeaways from this period, and how can systems become more resilient in future crises?
Yeah, systematic barriers are still there, even the pandemics. People had many issues while getting themselves vaccinated, even. The vaccination centers were not accessible. The quarantine, the places where people were quarantined, they were not accessible. So I had that fear in me that I was so much frightened that if I had to be quarantined, where would they send me? Who would look after me then? Like I also got pandemic, but luckily I remained at home. My mother was also very ill that time, and we could not find help for us. It was very difficult time. There were no maids. We were very ill, and sometimes our oxygen levels are very down. We could not get medicines. Many times I had to call my friends and relatives to bring me medicines, because the chemists were also not ready to come and give medicines, and there was shortage of medicines even then. And things were very bad. Sometimes we could not have food. My mother could not make food. I had to call people to give us food, send us food, and they used to keep it outside our doors. So it was very difficult, and especially vaccination was an issue. Though Delhi government had claimed that home based vaccination would be given, but there was no home based vaccination in the when first two doses were given. For the last dose or the booster dose, I had to like put up a great fight. I kept on writing to the state commissioner of persons with disabilities in Delhi, to the SDMs, many places. And ultimately, in the booster dose, I got successful and they came and vaccinated me at home. So it was a very long fight, but things were very difficult. Even work suffered. I used to teach at that time, and online teaching was a great problem. Because we were not trained for online teaching, so it was a great problem. So everything suffered. Means our secondary health issues. No physiotherapy was done. No blood testing could be done. Means other diagnostic tests could be done, and things were really bad.
The good thing is your fight became fruitful.
Yeah, it became. At
Yes.
last, I could get booster dose at home.
Yes.
Now I'm going to vote at home this time, because again that fight was long, and this time again after 4 5 days, I would be voting from home.
Yes, ma'am. Our next question is: in 2016, you critiqued the use of the term Divyangjan, highlighting its disrespectful and othering nature. What motivated you to take such a strong stand, and what changes have you observed since then?
See, Divyangjan, differently abled, specially abled, these are called euphemisms. Euphemisms are the words that are used to make us feel good about ourselves. But we don't want to feel good only. We want to be included. We want to be respected. We have our own dignity. We are useful for the society, for the nation, for the economy. So when we use such words, sometimes what happens is that we have identity crisis. Who actually we are? Are we really Divyangjans? If we go by the meaning of the word literally, do we have Divyang? No, we do not have Divyang. We do not have superpowers. We do not have like special powers which would make us fly, and we won't need a ramp, and we can ascend the stairs very easily. No, we need all such facilities. So please do not distract us by using those words. Like we should not we sh- this is what happens. The system does, like it tries to distract us, like making us feel good about ourselves, like we are so inspiring, हम महान हैं, and such kind of attitude, like हम में अलग qualities हैं, और जिनको डिसेबिलिटी होती है उनका कुछ ना कुछ और स्ट्रांग हो जाता है. आई डोंट नो व्हाई दे से लाइक दैट. People who cannot see can sing well. What is the relationship in that? There is no relationship in that. So Divyangjan, though it passed as an official name, but yes, many places, people have stopped using it. Persons with disabilities is not a bad word. We can use it. It makes us feel like we are person first, not our disability is first. We are person first. Disability is just a part of us. So do not uh, try to judge us from the wheelchairs we use, the crutches we use, or any assistive devices we use. We have abilities, we have our own qualities. We also have good and bad days. And we are even villains. हम खराब भी होते हैं. हम बुरा भी कर सकते हैं. We can be criminals also. So how come if a criminal is a person with disability, can we call him a Divyangjan? No, we cannot call. So language matters. See, what happens is that the words we use, the language we use, it creates a lot of impression in other person's mind.
It
Right?
keeps getting recalled, it hurts the sentiments.
It hurts the sentiment. It excludes us. हमें
Mhm.
अलग कर देता है. It puts us in boxes which we don't want. If we want inclusion, we need to improve upon our the language we use in communication. Otherwise, it degrades a human.
You never know how the person feels about you.
Yeah,
Your words hurt a lot.
lot.
Hmm.
शब्दों के अर्थ शब्दों में नहीं होते हैं, वो हमारे अंदर होते हैं. The meanings are in us.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
we take. So whenever we keep on saying the same word, same word, people again, what they internalize that. The concept is internalized. The society will never change then.
Yes, ma'am. There's still एक इमेज बनी रहती है पीछे, चाहे आप
बिल-
मुंह में कुछ और बोलो, बट
बिल्कुल.
वो बैक इन द माइंड चलता रहता है.
आप बेचारे हो, आप पे तरस करना चाहिए. इस तरह की जो चीजें होती हैं, बहुत कॉन्डिसेंडिंग होती हैं. एंड आई हेट दैट.
Hmm.
We all should do.
No one wants sympathy.
No one. We
Hmm.
need empathy, we need inclusion.
Yes, ma'am.
We need to redefine the society. We
Hmm.
need to redefine everything. Otherwise, the we cannot depend upon the state for a static policies for us. We need redefinition, reimagination of the whole thing.
Yes, ma'am. So moving on to the next question. How do you manage your personal life with all the advocacy work and duties cross the hurdles entails?
Life is very busy. My personal life, I manage it somehow, but yeah, life is very busy, and with growing age and with deteriorating muscle mass and with deteriorating muscle strength now. I'm above 55, and again the symptoms are repeating. The post polio syndrome is coming, and I feel weak. So I cannot do much work at present. I cannot do hard work, or I cannot involve myself in like 10 hours work or 8 hours work. I get exhausted very soon, and my health issues are cropping up. So I need to balance everything, my physical health, because unless I am physically fine, I cannot work for people. And the stress level when it goes up, so I find things difficult to do. But yes, I somehow am managing it. My physiotherapies, my leisure time, family time. I have to do everything, and but I am ambitious by nature. मुझे ये भी करना है, वो भी करना है, वो भी करना. So I am very much ambitious. तो वो मुझे और एग्जॉस्ट कर देता है. बट यस, मैं नेटफ्लिक्स भी देखती हूँ. मैं टीवी में डिबेट्स भी देखती हूँ. आई राइट अ लॉट. आई डू मेनी थिंग्स. So
Me time is also crucial.
yeah, it is very crucial. It's like a self care thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
और मैम जो आप कह रहे हो कि आप सब बैलेंस करते हो और फिर अब आप में पैशन भी है,
वो
वही बात होगी.
कई
हम्म.
बार स्ट्रेस बहुत हो जाता है उस वजह से.
हाँ, जहाँ चाहे वहाँ राह है.
हम्म. Yeah.
So ma'am, next question. Looking back, which moment or achievement in your career has brought you to the greatest sense of fulfillment?
The national award that I got in 2016 from the President of India, like it was a dream come true to be on that stage, receiving an award from the President of India, late Mr. Pranab Mukherjee. And another award that was close to me, recognition, was when I was chosen as one of the 100 women in India, again in 2016. So I was one of the 100 women, and that was not only for the disability quota thing. I got like there were many non-disabled women, and I was one of them. And we had lunch with the president, and it was a great moment. And then another one which I got from US in 2019, Henry Viscardi Achievement Award. That award was given to me in 2019 for my work, and I was the first woman in India to receive that award. So these are very close to my heart. All other recognitions, awards are special, very special. My room is completely filled with my awards and pictures. They keep on motivating me to work hard and to push myself forward. So every day I look at them, I Pat my back. Yes, Abha ne kar liya. So I am very happy when I look at them.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you talked about president and inclusivity. I came up with a question. What are your views on Trump's policies on inclusivity?
He is not so much aware about inclusivity. I think Trump is a kind of a person who is very conservative, and he cannot think beyond his own limits. He has certain limits. Yeah, inclusivity. He has told not to consider gender, or the moment Black Lives Matter is completely stopped. But people won't stop living. People would live. They won't stop living with this after his orders. They would continue with their lives. They would continue with their fights. But by nature, I don't know what motivates him to do this, but he is a kind of a person who is not flexible. We need
He
flex
all,
we need
uh,
flexibility when we talk about inclusion. We need flexibility, but
he also declared only two genders.
yeah. उनको यही समझ आता.
So, ma'am, what are your future projects?
Future projects. Future projects. I want to. Nothing is in the pipeline at the moment, but yes, I want to do certain kind of research on like STEM education for girls with disabilities in India, because the girls with disabilities in India, they don't mostly go for the science and technology thing. So first I want to do a kind of research how many girls and women in India with disabilities are taking up these science and technology subjects, because it is like they are completely excluded from that. Because when I passed my 10th, I wanted to take up science, but my science laboratories were on the second floor of the school, so I could not take up science. I was compelled to take humanities. So I want girls and women to go for science and technology thing in ICT. They should be a they should be expert in ICT, and that is my wish, that I want to do a research on that. Apart from that, I am writing a book, another book at present, which is not at all disability centric. Sometimes we should do things which are not disability centric for others even. Yeah, otherwise we are typecast कि ये तो यही बात करती है. But no, we can think about certain other issues. So one book would be coming around in a month. I am decoding Kama Sutra. Being a sexuality and gender trainer, I am decoding what Kama Sutra actually means. Kama Sutra is not a sexual manual, but people take it to be purely as a sexual manual. But it teaches us many things about relationships, families, society, and how can we balance everything in life. हमारा धर्म, धर्म अर्थ और मोक्ष कहते हैं, जिसको तीन को कहते हैं. सो व्हाट आर आवर ड्यूटीज, व्हाट आर आवर लायबिलिटीज, how and the pleasure, how can we combine everything together, and how can we balance everything in our life. So Kama Sutra teaches us. So I'm decoding that, and it is almost like complete, and in a month or so I think it would be out.
Yes, ma'am. Nice.
Thank you.
Is there any special project that you loved working on and is still close to your heart?
Yes. 2 years back, I worked on a project for women with leprosy, because persons with leprosy are completely neglected. And leprosy is one of our 21 disabilities. But lepers, persons with leprosy, they are completely left out. उनको अलग colonies में रख दिया जाता है. And there is a place near Ghaziabad जो कि एशिया की सबसे बड़ी leper colony है. And nobody knows about that. So I interviewed many women with leprosy there, and what issues they are going through. And even after getting cured, because leprosy is completely, it can be cured, it can be completely cured with medication and special care and everything. But what happens is that after getting cured and when their medication is stopped, they can again get that infection, because self care after leprosy is not taught to them. It's very unfortunate. So when I talk to the women there in their colonies, and so I found that they are living a miserable life. Nobody gives them work, even if they are completely like they are, the infection is completely removed from their body. Nobody gives them work. They, even their children are discriminated, their families are, so they are left to stay alone in separate places, far away from the city or the society. So that was very close to my heart. I learned a lot from those women. I taught to them how to take care of themselves. So if I get a chance, if I get support from somewhere, I would like to work more on that issue.
Yes, ma'am. Aftercare is also very crucial.
Yeah.
जब तक हम परहेज ही नहीं करेंगे वो बाउंस बैक कभी भी कर जाएगा.
में इवन उनको फायर के पास भी नहीं जाना, किचन में खा, बिकॉज दे डोंट हैव सेंसेशन इन देयर हैंड्स एंड so they develop certain kind of disabilities. Their fingers are lost, fingers of hands and feet, they are lost, so it is difficult for them.
Hmm. So, ma'am, here comes our last question. What message would you give students willing to take up disability advocacy activism to our audience actually?
Yeah, stand up for your rights. Very simple one line answer is that stand up for your rights, never be scared, but have patience. When you fight for your rights, you need to have patience. You cannot be aggressive all the time. Aggression should come when nobody is listening to you, or you have done everything. Then aggression can work, but patience is the hallmark of everything. You need to be persuasive. Keep on writing letters, keep on writing mails, reach out to the authorities, learn whom to reach out and how to reach out. So then only, and make people around you aware. If one person makes other 10% aware, I think there would be a change in the society. सबको रोक रोक के बताओ, दिमाग नहीं है, हम इंसान हैं, है ना? तो एडवोकेसी में परसुएसिव होना बहुत जरूरी है, पेशेंस रखना बहुत जरूरी है, एंड राइट डायरेक्शन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, कि होम टू रीच आउट, कौन सुनेगा हमारी बात, कौन अथॉरिटी में सुन सकता है या मीडिया में कौन सुन सकता है. So it's a long fight, but yes, I am hopeful that after few years, the things have changed very much since last 10 years. There is a drastic change, dynamic change in our society. But
Hmm.
I am hopeful that in the coming years, like I have hope from you people, the young generation, that you would carry on this fight for advocacy, fight for your rights.
Yes, ma'am, we are carrying on.
Yeah, you need to.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, with this, we conclude the second episode of our podcast Suffer 4.0. Mrs. Abha, we are very grateful to have you with us. Thank you for your precious time. We appreciate each one of you for being an attentive and patient audience through the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, ma'am.